Hey everybody, welcome to the Sagebrush Happy Hour journal entry for Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. So it's been a few days since I've done a journal entry, and mainly because of the weekend. And then yesterday, I decided that it would be a good day to basically tear down my existing solar configuration and rebuild it as from a 24 volt system to a 48 volt system using a new inverter, which is the EG4 6000 XP, and the 6000 means that it will handle 6,000 watts, and as opposed to my previous system and inverter with the Snyder 2425, which would handle about 2,500 watts. So I'm basically doubling my power that I can deliver to the house. And I kind of decided last week that I would go that way and basically power the whole home using our batteries in series at 48 volts. And so that's going to be an interesting setup. But I'll interrupt that while I've got a thought here, is that the reason I'm sitting here is that I'm inside safe and sound, and you can hear the rumbling of thunder outside, rolling thunder out there. And so it's we're right in the middle of a thunderstorm, and I'm hoping that you might see some lightning over my shoulder here outside. And so you'll probably hear the thunder in the background. So back to the solar rebuild and upgrade. So my first step in this was to decommission the microinverter that was on one of my 1.6 kilowatt arrays there for 400 watt panels. And so I thought that would be easy, and it wasn't. And then I was going to hook that array in series with another array, another 1,600 watt array, so for a total of 3,200 watts in a series array at 270 volts approximately. And that took the entire morning because it seemed that I had to redo almost every cable and connector, and every single cable that I went ended up being, that much too short for what I needed. And so that did not bode well for the start of it. And then I started working on the second period of the construction, which was basically taking down the old inverter and then installing the new inverter on the wall. And that thing weighs about 85 pounds, which is a lot for me to lift. And it took me about 2 hours to actually just get the inverter mounted on the wall, and much sweat and needing to hydrate. And so I was pretty darn tired, and I didn't actually get the solar arrays, the solar panels, completely cabled in time to hook them up to the inverter. And since we'd been without power all day, it was getting around 5 o'clock, and I finally got the inverter up and hooked up to 2 batteries. So I had 2 batteries hooked up in series to be 48 volts, so I could just commission the inverter and get myself some power for the evening. And so about 5:30 we were able to get power up, and the batteries were at about 60% of their capacity, and being at only 200 amp hours of batteries. We went through the night and basically got through the night, but I woke up at 5:30 this morning and said, that we're down at around 10% on the batteries, and I didn't really want them to get down to 0% because that turns into a real big hassle. So had enough power to make coffee, and so that was always a good thing. Got myself a cup of coffee, and then went out and started working on hooking up the second set of batteries, and then getting the solar panels completed to hook up to the new inverter so that I could drive them with the 3,200 watts. And got that done. And of course, then it was sunny this morning, and then you can see this nice wall of clouds that's moved in, and it's actually pretty dark out there, and I'm only getting about 200, 300 watts off of the solar panels, so those batteries aren't charging as well as I would hope them to be. And then the other fly in the soup was that the water pump, our shallow well pump that pumps water from our cisterns into our pressure tank to supply water pressure for the house, was a 24-volt pump. And with the new system, there's just no way that I could power that other than at 120 volts. And so that meant I had to kind of reconfigure one of another array, my 1,000 watt array, through a charge controller into one of the single 24-volt battery, and then just to drive the pump. And so I've got now 4 batteries that are supplying the 48-volt inverter, and 1 battery that is basically just for the water pump. So it's been a little busy, and so we got that all up and running, and finally we were charging somewhat, and we probably got enough power to get through the night, no problem. And then the other big thing that happened is that I started a GoFundMe on Friday or Saturday for Gil Graves, the owner of the Chili Line Depot, for his legal defense fund, and was able to raise $3,400 in about 48 hours. And then GoFundMe hit me with a terms of service violation, canceled my account, refunded all the donations because that, according to their terms of service, that you can't take donations for a legal defense fund for a serious crime or for a crime of any sort, I guess, even if it's alleged and nobody's been convicted. So I guess they don't believe in innocent until proven guilty. So that's kind of been another kind of little emergency that I've been handling today. And hopefully we'll be able to set up donations through PayPal, and that we can support Gil in his legal defense coming up here. All right, so that's kind of what's happening on the Mesa today. Y'all take care, and cheers as always.